everybody, welcome to Spikey Saturday number 270 on the Mana League, where we're playing Kaladesh Remastered, which I said we wouldn't play, but we have it for 7 days in best of 3, and then they're going to take it away for some reason. But I figured we may as well get it in while we can. Oath of Ajani is not terribly good, if I remember correctly, or is this one of the good ones? When Oath of Ajani enters the battlefield, put +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's actually not that bad. That must have been one of the good ones. The second thing is obviously flavor text. Whirler Virtuoso is a card that I'm looking at here as well. It's very good. Ether Touch Renegade is also very good. This just means that maybe we should think about avoiding red because we're going to put people into there. But we could go kind of green-white, go wide, and this is, I mean, it's not as good as an Anthem. And in fact, I'm actually almost talking myself out of it. It's not as good as an Anthem because it's only an Anthem the first turn that it comes in. I'm talking myself out of it. I'm talking myself out of it. I think I might take the Whirler Virtuoso. Yeah. I thought it was bad. Something in my mind was telling me it's not that good of a card. So here we have a Prophetic Prism, which is pretty good. Draws a card, helps fix your colors. It's an artifact for any artifact matters stuff. There's an Ether Swooper here, which is also pretty decent, especially with the Whirler Virtuoso that we have right now. Helps us buy some more energy to make some more Thopters. What else do we have here? Veteran Motorist is good. We don't super have a reason to grab that based on our first pick, and I don't think it's as much better as staying on color. What was it again? 3/1 for 2 when it ETBs Scry 2. When it crews a vehicle, that vehicle gets +1/+1. It does feel like there's a little bit less vehicles in this set, which is good because vehicles are vaguely a mistake. They did include Untethered Express in this set, which says to me that they still don't have any clue about the mistakes that they actually made in this set, but they did correct it by taking out Renegade Freighter. But Untethered Express should never be put in a set again. Let's take the Ether Swooper. It works with the Virtuoso. It gives us kind of a start of a plan. So here I think I might take the Prophetic Prism. There is also a Sweaty Bee. Sweaty Bee is pretty good. You tap your servos, you tap your little artifacts, you tap your Prophetic Prisms, and you get an early 3/3 Menace. Like a 3/3 Menace for 3 is nuts. A 3/3 Menace for 4 is okay. If you can get this out for 2, it's even better. That said, I've seen them wheel quite a bit. I do not care for the Nimble Innovator. Demolition Stomper is not good. Crew 5 is just not something you ever want to be doing. Pima Outrider is one of the better cards in this pack, but I think I might just take the Prophetic Prism, hoping that Sweaty Bee comes back around. Foundry Inspector should not be here this late. It goes in every color. The rare in the pack is bad, so I'm not sure what was taken over Foundry Inspector. Although actually I probably do. I have done a few drafts of this, 3-ish, maybe 4-ish, and I have definitely seen Chief of the Foundry in the same pack as Foundry Inspector. It does look like they might be on the same print run of uncommons, which is bad because you want both of them. Chief of the Foundry gives +1/+1 to all your artifact creatures, or colorless creatures, I think. This makes your artifact spells cheaper to cast. So we'll pick this up knowing that somebody else is probably also in Chief of the Foundry deck. But this makes our artifacts cheaper, making our Prophetic Prism cost 1, our Renegade Map's a free card. We'll pick this up. Maybe try to get some self-assemblers or something. Decoction Module is a fine one. The modules are a little bit less good than you probably think at the start, but they're all sort of okay-ish. I think one is bad. It's not this one or the rare one. It's the other one. So this one, whenever a creature ETBs, we get an energy. That's cool. We can spend it on the Virtuoso, on the Swooper, and then pay 4 tap to bounce something is great. Sure, I like unsummoning things for 1 mana, but I'll certainly pay 4 if I can as well. It's a good mana sink. You want to make sure you have stuff to do with your mana. It's an artifact. It'll help us cast those Sweaty Bees that we'll hopefully be picking up. The only other cards that I'm looking at here are Ice Over, which is not that good because it doesn't tap them down. You can still play it. And Spireside Infiltrator, which is a nice little aggressive creature. But let's take the Decoction Module. Indomitable Creativity, I don't remember liking that much. I think we're looking at the Sky Skiff for the moment. So destroy X target artifacts and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controllers review. Right. Until an artifact or creature card. Yeah, so you're blowing things up, hoping that they don't get something better and you're paying at a minimum 4 mana, 3 of it has to be red, it's not a good card. This is where it should be, and it should keep going down the table. So we're looking at Sky Skiff, which has that lovely text of Crew 1. If a vehicle has Crew 1, it's a good vehicle. If it doesn't, it's probably significantly worse. So we'll take the Skiff. Our servos and stuff can crew it. And of course, there's the bonus of we've taken Inspector, Skiff, Prism, Module. We may not be blue-red. We could be white something else. We get a Countless Gears Renegade, which was sort of okay. It's a bear, but if something left the battlefield, it's a 2-mana 3/3, kind of, because it makes a servo. I might pick that up. Well, no, we've got the Virtuoso. The Shipwreck Moray giving 4 energy is pretty decent. It can also attack quite well. The artifacts here are bad. Yeah, let's take the Moray just to see if we do end up getting something that suggests we should be blue. And Metallic Rebuke, it's not suggesting we should be blue. It is just Convolute that maybe you can cast for a little bit cheaper. But Convolute is always a spell that is fine-ish. So we'll pick it up. I hate Tezzeret's Ambition. 5 mana sorcery speed is just not where you want to be. Aether Inspector is the worst of this cycle. Ornithopter is not a card you ever put in your deck. Stomper's bad. Gate's pretty mediocre. It has a couple of roles. I definitely did play it. And Workshop Assistant I don't super care about. So here we get a Chandra's Pyrohelix. Mildly late-ish. It's not an amazing removal spell, but it's a shock for 2 mana, and you can even divide it and maybe kill 2 things. So this is a card that I'm happy to pick up. Lifecraft Cavalry is okay. Conviction was always shockingly sort of okay as well. Any auras that you can pay a minor amount to return to your hand tend to be better than you might think they are. But we'll take the Pyrohelix. So Veteran Motorist coming back around really intrigues me. That suggests that red-white could be wide open. And we don't lose much by pushing into it, and we already have a Sky Skiff. I think I'll pick it up rather than pick up like the Hijack that I probably won't put in the main deck. Doesn't mean that we're red-white, but it's something to keep an eye on. Nimble Innovator was a card that I never super cared about. 4 mana for a 2/2 is just a lot, even if it does draw a card. Built to Last is a nice little combat trick if we do end up red-white. So let's stay open and see what happens here. Propeller Pioneer, third last pick, says that, yep, we're going to head into white. This card's good. It does not deserve to be pick 12. It should be pick 5, 6, 7. And I've seen it go higher. So let's pick that up. And I think we get a Bastion Mastodon and a Conviction. We're taking Bastodon, as I used to call it. Because, of course, if we have Foundry Inspector, it could be even cheaper. And I think we're heading into red-white. I'll even play a Frontline Rebel. Hey, Combustible Gear Hulk. 6/6 for 6, first strike. That's a very good creature. When it ETBs, the target opponent can have me draw 3 cards, but if they don't, then I mill 3 cards and it deals damage to that player equal to the total CMC. So they're gambling. Do they give me an Ancestral... What's it called? Not Visions, Ancestral Recall. Yeah, Recall. Or do they take somewhere between 0 and 18 damage? Obviously, it's going to be closer to 0 than 18, but it's a very good card. Yes, it's the worst of the Gear Hulks. The worst pizza is still pizza. It's still very good. So we're going to take the Combustible Gear Hulk here. And yeah, we might get this Revoke back around if people really aren't in white. There's no blue here to even tempt me. I think we're heading into red-white. Midnight Oil is not a bad card. This was one of the interesting cards of the format because everybody read it and was like, ugh, you're going to have to discard your hand constantly. But by the time you get to turn 8 or 9 or 10, where you have a maximum hand size of 1, or sorry, maximum hand size of 0, in limited, you've cast all your cards anyways, it doesn't matter. I want to play more of this format because I want to try to build a Minister of Inquiries deck. This was a great deck in triple Kaladesh. I suspect with this being uncommon in a large set, it's probably not nearly as good. We're taking this Ether Chaser here. It's a nice aggressive card. 2/1 first strike for 2 is always great. Make servos definitely goes into our deck here. The white cards, we should get something back around that I want. Again, there's no blue. Well, I like both of these blue cards, but I think with the Motorist and the late Propeller Pioneer, Getting into white is where we want to go. And then we get a Renegade Wheelsmith. 3/2 for 3. When it becomes tapped, perhaps because it's attacking, a creature can't block, or perhaps because it's crewing. This card's great, and I think we stayed open and read the signals incredibly well here, because we should get rewarded possibly from both sides. So yeah, let's take this Renegade Wheelsmith. We might get another Bastion back around, or an Eddy Trail Hawk is fine. I doubt we'll get this back. I would love if we get this back, but we probably won't. Let's take that Wheelsmith. Okay, so we've got a couple of decisions here. Reckless Fireweaver works really well with a bunch of artifacts and in multiples. So like we'd be triggering this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, possibly 8 or more times already. Impeccable Timing is removal, which we also need. I really want to load up on these, and we're early enough in the draft that we can kind of expect to see another one. I'm going to take the Fireweaver. That's a synergy pick. I don't like doing that usually. Here we get a Propeller Pioneer or a Glint Sleeve Artisan. Both of these are good Servo Maker cards in white. We have one Propeller Pioneer. It's our only 4-drop. Glint Sleeve was also pretty decent. Just having a 3/3 for 3 is fine, or having a 2/2 and a 1/1 is also pretty fine. We'll take the second Propeller Pioneer over the first one though, but I'll play multiples of these, and I want one of these at some point. Obviously, Artifact Hate can be good. I don't recommend main decking pure Artifact Hate, but the fact that this also can just randomly kill your opponent if they don't have flyers is huge. Okay, so no red cards. We do have a self-assembler. We saw one other self-assembler. I don't know if it'll come back around, but we could take a flyer on it in case it does come back around. We have the inspector to make them cheaper, and we can potentially get other things going on there. Aviary Mechanic gives me a choice of bouncing something, so that would be good to bounce. Those would be good to bounce. There's not that much good to bounce here. There's definitely decks where that would be a big bonus, though. So we'll take that self-assembler and see if we can get some more. Kind of late Ether Swooper here, but unfortunately I think we're totally out of that deck. So we'll just take the Dawn Feather Eagle. A 5-mana 3/3 flyer that anthems the team for a turn and gives them vigilance is exactly what a lowish curve aggro deck is looking for. So we'll take that Dawn Feather Eagle. Impeccable Timing came back. Cool. There is also the Destructor Tampering, which we just have to take at some point, but I'm not taking it over an Impeccable Timing. We should get one, though. There have been a lot in these packs. So here we could take the Countless Gears Renegade as just sort of a filler creature. We could also take a sideboard Fragmentize. Fragmentize is not my favorite. It doesn't kill Self-Assemblers or Bastion Mastodons or Gear Hulks or etc. But it does kill a good amount of what you want to kill. But I think we can get one. Let's take the aggressive 2-drop here. Looks like blue might be open, or people don't know how good bounce is. We're at 13 creatures. I would play this Conviction, but I don't think we're going to have to. We have one combat trick already. I'll take the second Renegade, but those are things you don't want to load up on. They are pretty filler. So we can take the second Bastion Mastodon here. I don't know if we'll play 2, but we're certainly not playing a Crusher. Here we've got an Eddy Trail Hawk. Totally okay. You make your Bastion Mastodon fly, and your opponent's pretty sad. Malfunction really late, telling me that blue is open. Weird. Iron Tread Crusher, don't want it. All right, pack 3. Are you going to make things crystal clear and fully reward me? A Welding Spark looks like it. So Lifecrafter's Bestiary. This is a green card, but can we still use it? I remember it being good, but was it good in every deck? So at the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1. Cool. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you can pay green. No, obviously not for us. Yeah, we'll just go with Welding Sparks. It's 3 mana, instant speed, 3 damage, and perhaps a lot more. And we have a whole bunch of artifacts, so it's definitely a lot more. Coming back around, we might get a second Dawn Feather Eagle that I don't know if we'll play. Ridgescale Tusker is the best card in the pack. This is a mistake of a card. Yeah, don't pass it. Obviously, pack 3, you're not in green, pass it. But otherwise, don't pass it. Give me that Welding Sparks. Angel of Invention Past. 5 mana, 2/1, Flying Vigilance Lifelink. That could be our choice. A 4/3 Flying Vigilance Lifelink that anthems our team, or we could make 2 servos, which of course would be 2/2s, as long as this is on the battlefield. We read our signals. We got past a bomb mythic. So let's pop that in. And we're going to have to start making some cuts here. Let's get rid of this self-assembler. Let's get rid of one of these renegades. Let's get rid of this frontline rebel. So this pack we have a Visionary Augmenter, which is great. 4 mana 2/1 doesn't sound great, but a 4 mana 4/3 is decent. And Fabricate 2. It's going to give us artifacts for the Fire Weaver. It's going to give us more creatures for the Angel of Invention. It's a good card. And she's basically Riley from Alien. Yeah, there's not much else here. Hopefully this one comes back around. I do want one. There's just always better cards. Another Veteran Motorist. So 3 mana 2-drop is my favorite stats, and it scries 2. That's great. We don't have many vehicles. We have 1 vehicle, so obviously we're not going nuts on it, but it's still a very good card. There's a fabrication module here. The other module, was this the bad one? When you get energy, put a counter on a creature. No, maybe all the modules were actually okay. Was this a bad one? There was one that I remember being bad, but I don't know which one it was. But we're going to take another Veteran Motorist here. So here we are seeing these self-assemblers coming around, eh? I just don't think we need them at this point. Enraged Giant is a 4 mana, or a 6 mana 4/4 Trample Haste, which is very expensive, but of course you can improvise it, and it looks like we'll be able to improvise it very, very easily. We have Artifact, 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 Artifact. We're going to cut one of these. Another Artifact. This makes artifacts. This makes artifacts. This makes artifacts. This makes artifacts. So I think we're fine with this Enraged Giant. So let's pick that up. We have another Sky Skiff. What's our creature count? 16. So with 2 motorists, I think I'm pretty happy picking up a Skiff, because these can attack for 3 while the ground is clear, and then they can just, I mean, you don't want to be using your 3-power creature to crew 1, but when they crew it, they make this a 3/3 flyer, which can be pretty decent. There's a Hawk or an Alley Evasion. Don't really need them, so let's take another Skiff. Here, there's nothing I want, so we'll take an uncommon for my collection purposes. Here, there's another Pyrohelix, which I don't really want. There's a Conviction. Maybe we need bigger creatures, but that's going to sit in the side. There's a Refurbish. Was this a good one? 4 mana to return to battlefield. Happy, happy. Less happy with returning the rest. But I don't think we're going to take another one of these or another one of these. So let's take the Refurbish. Nothing I want here. I really wish we had gotten more of these Fire Weavers. That's the problem with these remaster sets, to be quite frank. They're so big, like, you know, this was, I believe, in Kaladesh, which was a, hey, we got our tampering, which was a 250 card set, 260 card set, and this is like 360, 370 or something. So you just can't get the multiples of commons that you need to build the decks that existed in the formats originally. A super late impeccable timing. Apparently, we always could have gotten one. All right, well, and another Edge Trail Hawk. We'll have to make some cuts, but I think we, by staying open, reading the signals, really got into the deck that we wanted to be in instead of this blue-red one. So we need 4 cuts. So we're not really triggering Countless Renegade ourselves in any way. So we can cut that one. Brings us down to 16 creatures. We definitely want creatures. We're going to plan to be aggro, which means Decoction Module, as much as I kind of like bouncing stuff, even if it costs 4, just isn't quite where I want to be. We may not need this Prophetic Prism. So some people would instantly cut this. We're playing 2 colors. Why would we ever play this card? It draws a card. If you're stuck on white, it makes red. If you're stuck on red, it makes white. It's an artifact for improvising. I do like it a fair bit. We could cut the Built to Last. We're slightly low on removal. We have Sparks timing, which means a combat trick sort of works as removal in extremely specific situations. I guess there's a Pyrohelix as well. Pyrohelix I do like because it does go face. You can just shock your opponent to death. I think Built to Last is one of the worst cards we have here. So I think it's going to go. And I guess we need to do a count on Fireweaver. So 1 trigger, 2, 3, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and possibly more. It's a fair number of triggers, and it's a 1/3, so it does block a little bit. I'm sure some people are probably saying, play 16 lands. Look at all these 2-drops. But I don't think so. I've got 3 5-drops. Yeah, no, 16 lands is never correct here. I've got 3 5-drops, 2 6-drops, 3 4-drops. There's no way I'm playing 16 lands. If it was best of 1, maybe. But there's no way I'm playing 16 lands. Maybe it is just the Prism. Yeah, I don't think we're cutting another creature. Yeah, I think it was just the Prism. That's a shame. That's a shame. But there we go. We've got a deck. Should be nice and aggressive in what people are calling a control-y slow set. Or at least they were until they played it. And then shockingly, the set with Crew 1 hyper aggro vehicles is fast. We'll give this a go. This is the first hand I have had in, I think, 2 straight drafts that hasn't been 1 land in my opening 7. It happened literally every game of a draft that I did, and then almost every game of the second draft that I did. I was not the biggest fan of that happening. Ether Chaser super fixes this hand, makes it look a lot better. We could have also played the Skiff, followed up with an attack. I think it's fine. This 2/1 is probably getting it no problem. Fireweaver, well, it's not getting in no problem. Never mind me. Never mind me one bit. Let's drop this Foundry Inspector and pass the turn. Also, did I totally... Okay, I just turned my audio down very low. I need slight bits of sound. Otherwise, I make mistakes, because I do play by sound a fair bit. Consulate Turret. Yes, this is a newer player. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54 cards. Consulate Turret's not very good. You can tap it to get an energy, and then you tap it, pay 3 energy to deal 2 damage to a player. It doesn't do enough. You really don't want to be playing it. And we are going to just start smushing here. If they block, we impeccable timing. And they're going to start taking a lot of damage real quick. And they may just not block. No, they do block. Okay. Let's kill the Weaver. Or kill the... Yeah, Fireweaver. Get in for 3, drop this. So we're going to be coming in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if they don't have a drop here. I assume they will. But I'm curious if they added lands or not. I always wonder how these people with the 50-plus card decks operate. Do they leave it at 17 lands? So we lose that, that's fine. We've got enough mana to cast our artifacts. Do they leave it at 17 lands? Because Arena doesn't give you more lands when you play like a 50-card deck. I'm very curious. But you know what does give me more lands? The Arena Shuffler. Oh, God. I've been talking on the stream a fair bit. When this stuff constantly happens, where it's like, cool, I flood. And if this opponent was presenting a board, I would be in massive amounts of trouble. And it's a design flaw that literally everybody is well aware of in Magic the Gathering. It's a huge flaw. Jesus Christ. It's a huge flaw. Some people like it. You know, Mark Rosewater famously points to it as being a very on-purpose decision because, of course, it allows newer players to beat newer players playing 50-card decks to beat more skilled players. Me playing a 40-card deck. Haha. Oh, my God. All right, that's a good card. I think it is just bad design to a point where I actually think if Magic was released today, brand new, from a never before heard of company with literally nothing behind it, Magic the Gathering would receive incredibly bad reviews. I think it would be panned universally by board game, tabletop game reviewers. I think there is so much wrong with the design that it doesn't hold a candle to modern game design. Now, luckily, I have nostalgia for the game. I have this game as part of my life, and therefore, I continue to play it, despite the fact that I do think that it has significant design flaws. But yeah, it's very interesting because I have no qualms, and I'm quite confident in saying that if Magic was released today as a brand new game, it would be one of the worst reviewed games. Well, not one of the worst reviewed games of all time. There's a lot of bad games out there, but it would receive pretty bad reviews. Like, look at this. We drew we drew 2 cards, I think, this game that weren't lands. And therefore, we're just going to probably lose here. Like, we just took 10 from this 54 card deck. All right, maybe the angel saves us. What does this do when it attacks? Tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. So no, we don't even win. We don't even win. We don't even win. I'm glad I had that whole talk while having such horrendous luck, literally proving that yes, this game in fact is very, very, very prone to huge design flaws. So we'll get in here, and our hope is that our opponent just doesn't read their card, I guess. They pay 2 energy, they put a counter on it, and they tap my angel. And they deal 8 to me. Like, this was... if this was my first game of Magic, if I had never played this game before, there is no way in hell that I would ever play this game ever again. Luckily, I know that it can be fun, but like I played a game where I didn't get to play Magic. I did not get to play because I drew, was that 6 lands in a row? 7 lands in a row? But yeah, that's Magic. And there's nothing you can do about it. So we go back in. We go back in and we presumably beat the 54 card deck, 7 times out of 10. But that was one of those times out of 10 where we don't beat the 54 card deck. Play first. Yep. We get our Ether Chaser. Find a Plains. This should be something that absolutely demolishes them. They mulliganed. I'm wondering if they are playing 17 lands. Like, that should theoretically significantly help the odds of us just winning. But you never know. All right, we should be very good here. We should be very good here. So let's get in, make a servo, and then drop a Wheelsmith. No 4-drop follow-up, unfortunately, but I don't think we're going to need it. We're coming in for 3, 4, 5, 6. We're taking them to 12. Looks like they're going to Pyrohelix me here. Pyrohelix Pew Pew. Yeah, that's fine. Miss a land drop. Well, there's the 4-drop right on time. And so now we just need to find a land for our 5-drop. And we'll make a servo here, because Renegade Gearsmith will allow that servo to get in, and if we do hit a plane specifically, then we can make this into a 2/2 anyways. Fragmentize, sure. Alright, let's drop the angel. Spread the love. Smash. This servo can't block. Well, there we go. You saw the feature of the land system. That opponent beat us. They should not beat us more than 3 times out of 10. Because 30% of the games of Magic you play, you just can't win, ever. Regardless of your choices. Not great, but we'll keep. Once again, we should be able to just win through them having a significantly bad deck. There we go. Right on time. No, not right on time, because this is a 2-drop that we wanted to put down, but that works. So we're just looking for our second red at some point. We're looking for them to not just like slam a bomb mythic. Like, I'm not joking. Magic is a pretty dang bad game. So we need them to block here for no reason. They did not block there for no reason. And we need them to attack here without getting a counter on that rock. If they have that combat trick, we're dead. Don't have the combat trick? Okay. Wasn't the combat trick that I thought. Couldn't they have just given it... Yeah, they could have given it +2. Okay. Alright, we need to punish our opponent as quickly as humanly possible here. Because it's the only way we're going to win. Because Magic is problematically designed. Playing a Sailback instead. Yeah, we shouldn't lose to this opponent. If we lose to this opponent, it's kind of a travesty. Alright, so we can Gear Hulk and do the thing. We could also Vigilance, red, 1, 2, 3. We could Vigilance and then tap and have a 4/4 haste. That doesn't do as much good. We do have a Tampering for a whole bunch of damage in not too much time. So let's go Gear Hulk, see what they choose. Because we're representing 6, 10. We're representing 11 damage with Destructive Tampering right now. The one flyer will be a slight problem, but this Destructive Tampering should lead us through to the end of the game. So they'll either let me draw 3. Assuming they're a new player, they'll let me draw 3. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. So no attacks. We've got some choices here. Dawnfeather Eagle seems like a pretty good one. Especially since they won't get an attack here. So we've got 6 mana to work with. So I'm thinking we go Dawnfeather Eagle. Yeah, let's go Dawnfeather Eagle. And let's go in. Yeah, in. I'm assuming they're going to let one of these through, right? Yeah, they're going to take the 7. Perfect. Take 7, go to 10. And basically all we need is for them to attack with that rock, and they're dead to the Destructive Tampering. 6, 9, 10. Sure, of course they have more. Of course they have more flying rare bombs. Why wouldn't they? Just makes sense, right? Just makes sense. I really want to see the deck. I want to know what a 54 card deck looks like. They're tapping the Stalker to crew the Skiff, which can't attack. Oh, okay, they're just giving me the game. Cool. GG. 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 Get out of my game. Oh no, I take 7. Like, they're literally giving me the game. I don't even have to cast a spell. I just have to go boop. GG, I guess. Weird first game that we almost lost thanks to design features of Magic the Gathering. Let's go back in and try to play a real match of Magic the Gathering, shall we? But I mean, maybe that's the design, right? If I had played that first game of Magic, where we just drew a bunch of lands and didn't get to play, I would never have played again. That opponent, they drafted some stupid bomb crazy cards. They made massively incorrect gameplay mistakes and deck building mistakes, but still probably were like, oh, that was close. And I got to play these splashy, awesome, exciting cards. And maybe that's all Magic wants. That could be all that Magic wants. Make them feel like they had an exciting game, even if it wasn't that good. Boy, the sun is coming in that strange way again. This is a bad hand. I don't like mulliganing. I don't like mulliganing on the draw. I really don't like mulliganing on the draw. I believe I saw them mulligan as well. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep. Like, we find a plains and we're great. We find any of our 2 drops in red or 3 drops in red and we're fine. 42 card deck. All right. All right. This is a goggles. Hey, we found a plains. Look at that. Look at that. Red-green goggles. Voltaic Brawler. Okay. Well, we've got a card for that. What does it do? Pay energy to give it +1/+1 and trample. Sure. Doesn't save it from the timing. All right. As long as we can answer this here, they're down to 3 cards. Oh, God, the goggles. The goggles do something. All right, we're actually just mega boned and probably have lost the game entirely because we're taking 5 in this very slow, grindy format, says the content creators that definitely don't say things just to have something different to say the following week. Yeah, Ravenous Intruder. We'll take another 5, go to 10. Skygate, sure. Out. Cool. Fun games of Magic. We're dead, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. We're not dead, but there's not much point in trying. I guess maybe they'll sack one of those artifacts here. Maybe they'll get like a little bit greedy, but then they can just sack another one. Like, we're just dead. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We go to 1. We go to 1. We can force them to do another sack, but this is one of those 3 games out of 10 where you literally don't get to play Magic. Oh boy. Some people say I'm grumpy when I say that Magic is a poorly designed game, but I point to that game of Magic as 100% verifiable proof. You can't argue. Sorry. You can try, but you can't. Playing first. Why are they 4s? This is a hand that I think you should keep, but being down a game, needing to be aggro against them, I'm not keeping it. That's much better. I think I need double white less often, possibly not at all. Boop. So we'll lead with the Skiff so that we can attack with it as a 3/3, 3/4 this coming turn. Reckless Fireweaver, that's fine. I'm going to fly over you. Drop the Motorist, find me some lands. Oh, we're definitely not bottoming that. I'll top that for sure. So we get another Motorist and an Impeccable Timing next turn, which is decent. All right. They played a 1/3. They are not the racer at the moment. They built the deck. They built the deck that I wanted to build. we will impeccable timing that Fireweaver. That is 100% our plan. So we will crew the motorist, or we'll crew the sky skiff with this motorist. Interestingly, I believe Fireweaver doesn't do anything for us. We need to go fast. So we need this and a land underneath. So we'll crew with this one. Interestingly, we could crew it again to make it a 4/5, should that ever come up. And then we'll attack in. They will block, I would almost guarantee. Yep. Damn. Ornamental Courage is 1 mana, isn't it? All right, blow me out. Blow me out. Okay, good. They didn't have it. In for 3. Got rid of one of their Reckless Fireweavers, which halves their artifact clock if they have one. I'm assuming they must have one. So we'll draw our card and attack in for some amount. Cobra, sure. Hit me for 1. I'm assuming they might attack in for 1. No, they're just going to hold back. That's fine. Well, I'll crew with the pair of them and get the triggers. Attack on in for 4. Take him to 10. All right, we really need to land on top. Odds should be somewhat in our favor, right? We've got 13 out of 30, so it's not too much below 50%. And there's only, what, like 1 other 5-drop that we could draw? 2 other 5-drops that we could draw that would blow us out? Everything else we can play? Consulate Turret, bad card, don't care. Get your energy, enjoy. Yeah, there's like 2 cards in our deck that I'd be unhappy drawing right now. Literally everything else is A-okay by me. That's one of them. That's one of the 2 out of 30 that I did not want to draw. Let's take him to 6. I do believe there is 1 card out of 29 that we could draw that I would not be happy with. Literally every other card I'm confident I'm happy with. Brawler, hopefully not fast enough. Are you trying to turret my creatures? You cannot. You can only turret my face, which is why the card is bad. In for 3, you got it. That's a risky play. You are banking on me on having literally no removal, eh? Oh, there we go. Drop the angel. Fabricate. Crew. Smash. They blew up. They blew up. I can't believe we had a 2 out of 30 of drawing. Because we could have drew an Enraged Giant. Oh, I guess we also could have... There were 3 cards we could have drawn out of 30. So there was only a 90% chance of us not drawing one of those cards and drawing literally anything else that I would have loved. Back in? We've seen like no removal from them, really. There's a chance I just want to go faster. So maybe I want like Built to Last, get rid of the Enraged Giant. Let's give that a go. Let's give that a go. The interesting decisions you can make in best of 3, which is why I will not be playing best of 1. That's a good hand. That's a good hand. We've got our choice of 2-drops. We've got a 4-drop that we're very happy to get up to. We've got a Sky Skiff for that evasion. I like it. They've mulled. That's what you get for playing 42 cards. Don't play 42 cards. I'm so happy they fixed this board. Down to 5. The fact that the sand doesn't come down to approximately here anymore and over a bunch of cards. I'm glad that after only 3 weeks of me tweeting them almost every day, they fixed it without ever acknowledging it. Yeah, the goggles hop on. You got yourself a 2/5, which means we probably want to go more to the air because we're not really going to get through a 2/5. Ether Hub, sure. Skygate. It has reach. All right, well, they are walls up. They are walls up, which doesn't super matter to us because we can go Renegade Wheelsmith. We can tap it. Tap it. We can say that can't block, and we can get in for 2. Our attacks are going to do really well starting now. We should be good. Ravenous Intruder, not a big deal. In for 2, not a big deal. A Propeller Pioneer. Choices, 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 eh? I think I want to go with the Ether Chaser. I want to see if we can bait that Ravenous Intruder into attacking in and getting it with the impeccable timing. And we're going to keep attacking here. The Skygate cannot block. Because I do believe we are racing them way better than they think. I'm glad that this doesn't automatically happen. Like, it doesn't just automatically crew. Because I constantly click it before the actual attack step. I wish the phases were clearer. Because you have to pay attention over here to know what phase you're in, but then you have to look over here to know what phase you're in. I want clarity in my Magic games. I really want that Intruder to come in. Thinking that they're going to sack like Skygate and Inventor's Fair to kill my Chaser or otherwise do 5 damage to me. Oh, wait, no, we get ruined if they do that, right? No, we don't get ruined. We don't get ruined. We don't get ruined at all. Yeah, so we block here. Tell me of your plans, please. Cool. I'm going to shoot it. And now maybe they don't know how first strike damage works and they'll sack the goggles. They don't want to do that, by the way. The only reason to do that is if they have a combat trick. But I think they may just... Oh, 5/3. Oh, I'm bad at counting. Never mind me. I'm just bad at counting. I'm just bad at counting. Reckless Fireweaver, okay. Why did I think that would work? 3 + 2 is 5. And it got +4. That's why it did not work. So they don't have trample. So I'm happy to make a couple of servos here, which are going to be the Sky Skiff's crew / chump blockers. So we get to crew here, and then we get to attack in for 5. At some point, they're going to have to understand that they are not the aggressor here. Take them down to 11. And then Eddie Trailhawk can maybe even help the Visionary Augmenter through. Salivating Gremlins, that's fine. Isn't that a 4-drop? It's a 3-drop. Huh, what do you know? There's no way they're attacking. Wow. That's some unexpected aggression. I'll take 2. Foundry Inspector. Yeah, we're going to go Propeller Pioneer. And we're going to put counter on it because I like flying. Crew the Skiff. And then let's come on and slam. Yeah, no, we'll hold you back to block. Salivating Gremlins can't block. They give up. Look at that. 2-0. Heading into the finals. Heading into the finals despite 2 games that I think were literal poster childs of Magic's poor design And in fact, maybe it was on their side this time as well, right? They were stuck on 3 lands. They're playing 42 cards. So there are deck building decisions that opponent made, but that opponent was also probably a victim of Magic design. And it's a shame too, because they can't really fix it, right? They can't fix it without wildly changing the game forever. But I mean, I do feel like something has to be done to keep my interest. This is a pretty bad hand. But I mean, we have 16 creatures, right? So we have a 50% chance every single turn of drawing a creature. We're going to be able to cast basically all of them. It's not a great hand, but I'll keep. They also mulled. They are playing a 40-card deck. So here in the finals, for the 3-0, have we met someone playing properly? They're playing these swamps that are just further evidence of Arena's design decisions. Like, surprise, this land is not blue. I would have bet you any money that this was an island. But now I have to remember that this is actually a mountain, despite the fact that there's no border indicating that. Spireside Infiltrator, sure, that is a-okay, because we're just going to shoot it in its face. And fly on in for 1. I really wish you could turn off basic land styles. Oof. Oof. Well, there we go. This card's very good as well. Let's keep going. Getting in for 1. Always 1. So this card, 2/2 flyer, lifelink for 4, is a totally fine card. And then the fact that when it ETBs, you can move any counters. Used an unlicensed disintegration on my Hawk. Their hand must not be good. Our hand will be good in an additional turn from now. But if they killed the Hawk, things can't be going the best for them. We'll get rid of this land and we'll keep this Foundry Inspector on top. A 3/2 for 3 is always fine. Maybe it lets us double spell a little bit easier later. Obviously won't make the Gear Hulk any cheaper because the Gear Hulk will be down. Cobra, probably not going to tussle with the Hawk that well. Unlicensed Disintegration. You might want to keep those a little bit later in the game. Perhaps for a 6/6 for strike. They've got 18 life. They should definitely mill me for 3 here. There's no way they should let me draw 3 cards. So they take 6. They go to 12. So we've got them in basically 2 attacks with that Destructive Tampering, and they just gave up. There we go. There we go. We don't know much of their deck. They've got double unlicensed disintegration, which we can't. We can, if they're hitting an artifact, like if they hit our Hulk or our Mastodon, Built to Last would do it. I think I'm okay putting that in over, what do they have? 3/2, 2/2, 1/1, 2/1. Timing and Pyrohelix are pretty good. Let's maybe cut the Enraged Giant. Maybe I'm misremembering how good Enraged Giant is. I'm just always looking at these situations where I don't have stuff to improvise or stuff that I want to improvise, and it's a 6-drop. Yeah, let's take that out. Cut our creature by 1, but it makes our top decks when we're not mana rich a little bit better. I can work with this. I can work with this. We can go Fireweaver. Fireweaver into Sky Skiff if we don't find a land. Otherwise, we go into Foundry Inspector into double Sky Skiff, which multiple vehicles without having a ludicrous amount of creatures is a little bit odd, but you know. Yeah, let's go with the Fireweaver. So no land, we go Sky Skiff. If we find a land, we go Foundry Inspector. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the 3-0. Less Magic I have to play. While still getting wins. That's what I call a win-win-win. Yeah, there's the Spiky Saturday for Kaladesh Remastered. I've actually enjoyed the format a fair bit, despite my qualms that I am having with Magic gameplay design. I have a feeling, and I've talked about this at length, I'm going to keep you folks here for just a little bit longer. I've talked about this at length. The gameplay flaws, the mechanical flaws of Magic the Gathering go away when you're playing with friends, when you're playing in a store, when you're playing in a fun tournament where you have downtime and you go and chat with your friends after and you watch some other games be played. It goes away because the social aspect massively overshadows it. Removing the social aspect via digital Magic really shows kind of the seams of the game. It shows how the sausage is made a little bit, but who knows when we'll be able to get back to regular Magic playing with other humans in a different place than your own home. So we'll see. Anyways, 3-0 in Kaladesh. That's my third 3-0 out of like 5 drafts or 6 drafts. I'm doing pretty okay in Kaladesh. My assumption is just that I remember the format and most people playing probably have never played it. But yeah, that's Kaladesh Remastered. Go check it out. You have at this point, I believe, like 5 days to get in, and if you don't get in, you'll never get to play it in best of 3. I don't know what it's like in best of 1, but I will go on record saying that I am 100% confident that it's probably trash. Best of 1 is not where you want to be. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, do all those fun things. Patreon.com/ShamanLeek. Patreon folks are absolutely keeping this channel going. Make sure you go check out Twitch. Twitch is growing real fast. Real fast. And it's a super fun time over there with Magic and Stream Raiders and Marbles and just chatting and all kinds of just fun stuff that we do over there on Twitch. inkedgaming.com/ShamanLeek if you're going to buy anything from there for any paper Magic that you are playing, whether it be at home or not. And yeah, anything else, you let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next time.